I've been lying to my roommate for 8 months about where I go every Tuesday and Thursday night. She thinks I have a second job at Target, which technically isn't wrong since I do wear a red shirt. But what she doesn't know is that I've been teaching origami classes at the community center for seniors, and it's about to change everything. It started when my grandmother passed last year and left me her massive collection of origami paper. We're talking thousands of sheets in every color you can imagine, organized in plastic containers that took up half her spare bedroom. I was planning to donate it all to some elementary school when I found her journal tucked between the paper stacks. She had written about how folding paper helped her focus when her mind started wandering, how it kept her fingers nimble and her thoughts clear, how she wished she'd taught more people before it was too late. That hit me hard because I never learned. I was always too busy with college, then work, then whatever excuse I could find. So I Googled origami classes near me just to see what was out there. The community center had a post asking for volunteers to teach activities for their memory care program. No experience required, they said, just patience and enthusiasm. I figured I'd try it once and get it out of my system. That first Tuesday was a disaster. I showed up with a box of colorful paper and absolutely no teaching skills. Half the residents couldn't remember my name 5 minutes after I introduced myself. Most gave up after struggling with the basic valley folds needed for a simple crane. But this one woman, Eleanor, kept trying. Her hands shook from arthritis, and she'd forget the steps I'd just shown her, but she refused to quit. She'd smooth out her crumpled paper and ask me to show her again, and again, and again. By the third week, something clicked. Eleanor started remembering the folds from the previous session. By the sixth week, she was helping other residents who were struggling. By week 8, she was teaching me patterns her mother had shown her in Poland 70 years ago. That's when I realized this wasn't just about paper anymore. The program coordinator, Janet, pulled me aside after class last month. She said something had changed in the memory care wing. The residents were more alert during my sessions. Their families were commenting on improvements at home, and the nursing staff reported better engagement overall. People who hadn't spoken in months were asking when origami night was happening. Then Janet dropped the bomb. The center got a grant to expand their therapeutic programs, and she wanted to offer me a full-time position as their activities coordinator. The pay would actually be more than my current marketing job. I've been carrying around that job offer in my wallet for 3 weeks, too scared to tell anyone. Because honestly, how do you explain that you want to leave your stable office job to fold paper with elderly people? My parents already think I'm wasting my business degree. My roommate keeps asking why I seem so tired on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I keep making up stories about difficult customers at my fake Target job. The worst part is lying to my girlfriend Sarah. She's been planning our future around my marketing salary, talking about the apartment we'll get next year, the vacation we'll take. How do I tell her I want to throw it all away for something that pays the same but sounds completely insane to everyone else? Last week, I almost chickened out completely. I was sitting in my cubicle staring at spreadsheets that felt meaningless when my boss announced layoffs were coming. For a second, I felt relieved. Maybe the choice would be made for me, but then I realized how pathetic that was, waiting for life to happen instead of making it happen. But yesterday changed everything. We were working on paper flowers, these intricate roses that take about 20 minutes each. The residents were giving them to their visiting families as Mother's Day gifts. Eleanor had been struggling with the final petal folds for weeks, getting frustrated when her arthritis made the delicate work nearly impossible. Then something amazing happened. She completed her first perfect rose. Her face lit up like a child's, and she started crying happy tears. She called over her daughter, who had been visiting in the corner, and presented the flower like it was made of gold. That's when Eleanor grabbed my hand with both of hers. Her grip was stronger than it had been in months, steady and sure. She looked right into my eyes with perfect clarity and whispered, "You saved my mind, dear." I remember my daughter's face again. I remember making paper boats with my grandson when he was little. I remember who I am, and I remember why that matters. I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice tomorrow.